Welcome to the AFD Cycling Podcast. This is cycling from an Irish perspective, and today we'll be recapping stage one of the 2025 Tour de France and also previewing stage two. So, stage one of the Tour de France 2025 was a flat stage. A breakaway went away and was caught before the second classified climb of the day. But meanwhile, while all this was going on, a rider from Decathlon Azur, Le Mondial, and a rider from Ineos Grenadiers had crashed. So Filippo Ganna ended up abandoning the race, and then later in the stage, Stefan Bissegger of Decathlon Azur Le Mondial ended up abandoning the stage as well. They ended up being the only two riders to abandon the race on stage one, but with a heavy heart, the fans of the Tour de France wished them farewell from the race because they would have been in the main contention, probably both of them, for the stage 5 individual time trial, and hopefully they're both okay. Well, coming toward the end of the stage, within the last 15 kilometers, there was a split made in the breakaway, in the peloton, and about 30 riders got away in that group. And within the last 10 kilometers, then there was a coming together between Marijn van den Berg of EF Education EasyPost and another rider who I believe was from Team Picnic PostNL. And they ended up falling heavily, but I think they both managed to finish the stage. And the group that went away, well, of that there was two sprinters, or possibly three if you count Søren Walenschold, but two very prestigious sprinters in the group, and it was them who took it to the line 39 seconds ahead of the main peloton, because the split included Tadej Pogačar and his teammate Tim Wellens, the newly crowned Belgian champion, and Jonas Vingegaard had a load of his team with him as well, and they ended up driving that split away, and the break, then the reduced group ending up with the win. Jasper Philipsen sprinting convincingly to victory. Biniam Girmay, last year's winner of the green jersey, second place. Søren Walenschold of Uno X Mobility ending up in third place. Fourth place for Anthony Turgis of Team Total Energy, who you may have noticed, as I already said in my preview episode, that they are also sponsoring Ineos Grenadiers. And well, maybe sticking with themselves just would have been a better decision, because here we see Total Energy, the pro team, finishing better than the World Tour team. And fifth place was Matteo Trentin from Tudor Pro Cycling. I have the top 20 of the stage here. All those top 20 were with the front split. So obviously, as it was the first stage of the Tour de France 2025, the winner, Jasper Philipsen, taking the 10 bonus seconds on the line, obviously beating Girmay, taking 6, and then Søren Walenschold taking 4. Jasper Philipsen will wear the yellow jersey in tomorrow's hilly stage, and it will be quite the task for him to maintain it. But great work still done by his team and Mathieu van der Poel as well in that break to get him toward the line and get him the yellow jersey. As you can see in the general classification, you can see that Tadej Pogačar is up there, and so is Jonas Vingegaard. They are 39 seconds ahead of Primo Roglic, Joao Almeida, Remco Evenepoel, who were in the second group behind, led in by Jean Milan of Lidl Trek, who won the intermediate sprint of the day. As you can see here, that there's a lot of riders in there that you probably wouldn't favour for the mountains, but no huge changes in the GC for those cemented three that stood on the podium last year, and then Rogic and Almeida. No huge change, 39 seconds in the grand scheme of things, with stage 5 a very early time trial, a chance to chip away at Tadej Pogacar early on, as he showed he wasn't in the strongest form for time trials, losing over 45 seconds to Remco Evenepoel in that race. Remco Evenepoel will have a chance to get rid of that 39 second deficit, and hopefully for him and Soudal Quickstep turn it into time that he is ahead of Tadej. And the points classification, well, obviously Jasper Philipsen sits on top after getting 50 points from the final sprint, and then plus the amount he picked up in the intermediate sprint. Biniam Girmay second, and he was the 1-2 in the stage as well. And of course, it's really, really hard this early on to pick out who is going to take it already, especially with the amount of sprint stages we have early on in the race as well. Jonathan Milan, you may know, was in 5th place. Even though he did not pick up any points in the final sprint, he does have 20 points from coming first in the intermediate sprint of the day. And you do realise down there, lurking around the bottom, but lurking there nevertheless, Remco Evenepoel of Soudal Quickstep on that top 20 spreadsheet. So I wonder what was the plan for Soudal, if getting Remco points was even part of it, or how that even ended up. But the points classification is probably going to be the most tightly fought of all these classifications in the Tour de France. Of definitely the top 2 classifications, but then the King of the Mountains classification and the Ute classification going to be tight as well. But you would believe that Remco Evenepoel or Florian Leibowitz would take the white jersey, but there's a lot of riders in there who have good interests in the classification. It's also like Jonathan Milan, Tim Merlier didn't contest the final sprint today, but they'll be able to, surely they will, I'd say, if it doesn't split up, they'll be able to contest it in later stages. And with the 20 points difference between first and second on those sprint stages, there's a very big chance to make back time. And of course, the riders like Anthony Tuji, who did very well in the intermediate sprint, and Someone Scholl third in the stage, they have points now. They're up ahead of Jonathan Milan, probably the best power sprinter. Not the best for getting over a climb, obviously. But probably, if you had to pick out of the 3 big riders, I'd say Milan. Some would say Merlier, and some would say Philipsen. Philipsen better definitely at attacking styles of races and breakaways and crosswinds, on cobbles as well. He's numerous good finishes in Paris-Roubaix. I think that includes 2 second places, or maybe it's second and a third. I cannot be completely sure of that. But yeah, nevertheless, this classification is definitely far from over. 20 days left in racing, and many 50-point stages, the flat stages, left for the riders. Benjamin Thomas will take the polka dot jersey into stage 2, as you can see from this graphic right in front of you. And now you might think, why is Jonas Vingegaard up so high on the King of the Mountains? Oh, maybe he attacked Tadej. No, that is not what happened. Jonas Vingegaard, they were riding up, Pavel Sivakov on the right hand side, a rider from Groupama FDJ. I think there was a rider as well from Ineos Grenadier. It could have been actually Geraint Thomas that was in there. But Vingegaard's in and about, and he just rides over, looks over his shoulder, ooh, might as well take this. And he takes the point, and with minimal effort, I suppose, as well. And Benjamin Thomas in the day's breakaway took the first one very, very convincingly, going away from Matteo Vercher and Bruno Armirail and the other riders in the breakaway with about 250 metres to go in the first climb of the day, which Army Rai had been the first to attack, the rider from Decathlon Tour La Mondiale. And then the second climb, they were already caught. Seeing as Jean Milan and all managed to win the intermediate sprint. They chased really hard for that intermediate sprint, those full 20 points. And then Benjamin Thomas went and took the extra point to secure that he'd get the polka dot jersey into stage 2. And then when Vingegaard came over on the last one, he said, I might as well, I suppose, because he was never going to get it. There wasn't the other one left that whoever got it would get the jersey. And anyway, it was a done deal. Thomas knew he just had to finish the stage in the time limit and he'd get the jersey. Still though, very little points on this graphic. Tomorrow there's 4 categorized climbs: category 4, category 3, category 3, category 4. So there's 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 1 points up for grabs, I believe is how it is, or it could be a 3-4-3 day, I'm not completely sure. But Thomas probably gonna go on the break tomorrow. Just, wear the jersey, prize money, pride as well. Like, you're wearing a jersey of the Tour de France. Like, you might say, oh sure, there's only, what was there, 6 riders in the breakaway today, but no, it's still, even if it's a fat stage, it was very hard fought over the top of that first climb, and to go again on the second one, chapeau to him. And he has the jersey now, and he's the picture of him on the podium for the mantelpiece, and he's gonna, fingers crossed for himself now, that he can have a good few mountain stages and have it in Paris. But we still got 20 stages to go. Huge amount of points available on those OR category climbs, 20 points for the winner. And then you look at 2 points and you think he could be gone on the first mountain stage. But for him, it's great for him, because the first mountain stage is only stage 10. So, good hilly rider Benjamin Thomas, hopefully for him, he'll take hilly stages in his stride, get a couple of points, stay in the lead. And that's probably what Cofidis's tactic is. And I'd say Astana XDS are kicking themselves that they don't have it after Lorenzo Fortunato and Christian Scaroni's antics in the Giro d'Italia. I'm sure they would have loved to be able to do that as well. Well, Biniam Girmay in the lead of this classification, obviously because of the split on the day, but it's not overly gone on anyone yet. Obviously Lenny Martinez, Lanterne Rouge of the stage, must have been very sick, was struggling on the back a lot of the day actually. And yeah, you'd wonder for him and Bahrain Victorious how it's going to go from here, because he could be one of those threatening for the polka dot jersey. Also the likes of Eddie Dunbar, Simon Yates lost a lot of time as well. And why am I still talking about the polka dot jersey here when I'm on the U classification? Never mind that now. U classification, yeah, Remco Evenepoel, Florian Leibowitz finished in the second group. Leonard Van Eetveld, I said he might be a good rider. He's 20 there in the same time as all the riders who finished in the main group, second group. So yeah, it's all to play for still, and this is just riders under 26 years of age compete for this as a general classification, but it's for young riders under 26. Well, good for Tudor, first Tour de France, first stage of the Tour de France. They have the team classification now. You see a lot of teams tied the whole way down to EF, Education, EasyPost. Emirates, the first team to not be on the same time, but they won it last year. You'd imagine with the firepower they have, and also the firepower of the likes of Visma Lease Bike, that they may be able to overcome the likes of Tudor Pro Cycling. But Tudor Pro Cycling, EF, Education, EasyPost, Israel, Premier Tech, they could be teams that are going in the break a lot of days. Groupama, FDJ as well, home race for the French, and that could see the shift in the team classification. But on those big mountain stages that Tadej is going to be going for, and so is Jonas, when the GC guys go for it, it gets really hard for those teams to cling on to that. But yellow numbers, yellow helmets tomorrow for Julien Alaphilippe's team, Tudor Pro Cycling, and they will be very happy with that. But I can tell you this, Julien Alaphilippe did not contribute to this. He was over 4 minutes back the road. So sprinter Alberto Dainese in there. So yeah, it asks questions that a climber dropped on a flat day, like a sprinter getting away, I suppose, on a flat day. Just, yeah, makes you ask questions. But form-wise, I don't think Alaphilippe's in top shape. He looked good in Tour de Suisse. I thought he'd be in a better place, but I also thought Eddie Dunbar and Simon Yates would be in a better place, especially Simon Yates after winning the Giro d'Italia, and he lost 6 minutes 58 seconds or something like that. So it's tricky for those riders to day in day out keep the time loss down if they are going to lose time. And the team classification will be one of those that we'll see, like if a big breakaway of 5 minutes goes away and there's 3 riders in the break for one team, 15 minutes shaved off, like massive amounts of time won and lost in this classification. It's not the most hard fought of classifications, but coming toward the end, they'll start looking at it and say, we could do with the prize money. And the rider who scored no points on the first climb, even though after going after Benjamin Thomas in a futile attempt at chasing, Matteo Vercher was announced as the Combativity Award winner of Stage 1. It says 21 on that one, but he's number 188, and I will say that on the gold number for him tomorrow, where he gets a place on the reserved place on the start line, yellow jersey, stage winner, but the stage winner and the yellow jersey is the same person. Green jersey, obviously that's Anthony Gigi tomorrow, even though Philipsen leads the classification. We've got Thomas there, we've got Girmay, and we've got Vercher. So Vercher could go on the break again tomorrow. Obviously the last 3 times come very late and there's only 1 point to fight for, so probably be in the break tomorrow. Probably we'll see Benjamin Thomas as well. And it's a good opportunity for riders to get on the podium and get a bit of prize money, because if you're in the breakaway, it's coming back, you might as well have a crack, and this is what this encourages. And so for the route of Stage 2, a Category 4 climb greets them after half the stage. Very hard for the breakaway to endure all day, well, half the day, and then only get their first chance at anything really halfway through the stage. And then the intermediate sprint comes very late in the day. You could even see the breakaway caught before that. Slim pickings for the breakaway tomorrow really, even though it's a hilly stage. 3, and a 4, and then the finish is on a ramp. So you could see attacks from punchers, but Tadej is probably going to be greedy again. Oh, I want the stage already, I want the yellow jersey, and sure, why not? But 10 seconds on the line, no bonus seconds. I don't know if that is going to be being used this year. Was used the last 2 years, but I don't think it's gonna be this year at all. But we'll see how it goes. The bonus sprints were like at top of a climb, and they'd have 8, 5, and 3, I think it was. Whereas the bonus on the finish line, except for a time trial or a team time trial, 10-6-4, and that's why there is gaps in the GC for those riders who finished together yesterday. Probably gonna be the day of a punchy GC rider or a puncher. I can't really see many other things happening tomorrow. So it's gonna be hopefully an exciting day, and hopefully we see a good ride from everybody and no crashes. Thank you.